Pengjun generated 1.2 million in additional revenue in just 1 year, and John hit record sales all right after they implemented sales in the way I'm about to explain to you in this video. So in this video, I'll share the complete blueprint I use to 10x their profits. And this is a complete 5-step beginner's guide to dominating high-ticket sales in 2024. Hey guys, it's Shannon here, and till date, I've generated over 50 million for different companies that I work with to be able to scale their high-ticket sales from here to here. The opportunities all start with understanding the number one mistake that's actually killing your sales. No matter what you do, all of your prospects shut you down, they don't respond to your email, and they ghost you forever. Now that sounds familiar? This is because you're making the biggest mistakes in sales, and that is selling. I'm sure you're scratching your head, but of course you have to sell to make money. You're a salesperson, it's what you do, and it's what it's all about, but that's where you're wrong. As a salesperson, the one thing you shouldn't strive for really is to sell, because if you do that, you're just gonna look like a money-hungry, salesy salesperson to your clients, even if you have the best intention. And that is why you should strive to offer maximum value, but still be persuasive. Now, when you start to pump value into yourself, your products, the way you present yourself, your career as a salesperson is going to fly. And your prospects will start to reach out to you. And they'll be the one leaving you the messages asking for the next step. And they'll be running at you saying, when can we start? And that was a secret that I needed to learn to finally start boosting my sales conversion by 50%. But that begs the question, how do you make your products appear more valuable and premium to your clients? Step number one, create a killer offer. The value of your products or services doesn't lie in how expensive it is, how much time it took to make it, or how successful it is. At the end of the day, your value is hidden within your offer. A great salesperson can sell anything, and that's because they're able to create incredible offer and proposition that prospect just can't say no to. And in order to create this offer, you have to start building some trust. Now let's take a step back. When a prospect and a salesperson interact, it's usually because the prospect is searching for a solution. Your challenge as a salesperson is actually getting your prospects to open up about their problem and trust you. And I'm sure you've noticed this yourself. With any successful sale you made, it was probably because you were able to address a specific problem that your prospect had. Now, why does that work so well? It's because you're not just throwing your product at them, listing down all the features and expecting them to buy. No, what you're doing is pointing the spotlight to your prospect's problems and how this needs to be solved as soon as possible. And the only way to solve them is by buying your products. So to get a prospect to always say yes, you need to get your prospects to understand that they have an urgent need that has to be solved now. Here's an example. If I'm your prospect and you're the closer and you want me to buy from you, the first thing is not going to be about telling me all about your products, your features, your benefit, and why does it serve me. The first step got to be about what got you interested to want to talk to me and what are some of the problems that you want to solve right now that you think we can help you in. Tell me more. What do you mean? Can you clarify what does that mean? How long have you been feeling this way? What have you really done to solve this problem and it's just not working out for you? And what's your expectation of me, and how do you know that I'm going to perform as an agency, as a consultant, as a coach, or as a salesperson who's selling the products or services? By doing that, you're one step closer to building a stronger foundation of trust with your clients. And in their eyes, you're genuinely interested in providing value and fixing their problems because you really are. Now, you go from looking like a greedy salesperson to a bleeding heart that just wants to help. And that level of trust is going to be essential when you sell high-ticket products to clients. Now, just think about it. If you're a prospect and a salesperson comes up to you offering a product that costs $2,000 to $5,000, would you take it? Well, obviously, you wouldn't. But if they took the time to understand who you are, what your problem is, what's the solution that you're looking for, and how do we achieve your expectation, now that's a whole different story. And that's because in high-ticket sales, you need to focus on helping your prospects. That's it. Oh, not just that. It's also about alignment. Because when you genuinely believe that you can help them, then your prospects are going to trust you and they'll be willing to pay thousands for a product if they align with you. And in order to build that trust, you're going to have to guide your prospects. Step number 2, how do you guide your prospects? Your prospects aren't going to trust you at the snap of a finger. because when you hop on a sales call, you're entering a playing field, and the game is to get your prospects to buy your product or services if you can help them. And in order to play, you have to slowly control the conversation, get them primed, and also get them ready to say yes to your offer when you pitch. And everything that comes out from your mouth should be something that makes sense to them logically and emotionally. You can't just talk on and on and on about products or topics that don't actually matter to them. Getting your prospect comfortable by talking about the weather might sound like a good idea, but that just takes your prospect's attention away from their problem and also away from your proposition. And as you go through your conversation, every sentence that you say has to bring them one step closer to saying yes to you because they align with you. And the first concept you need to understand to do that is confidence. I'm not saying that you should start your sales call by bragging about your product and how amazing it is. It's not about that. That is not the right kind of confidence you need. And more often than not, it will only drive prospects away. Nobody likes to be preached to, and your prospects are no different. Now, what you need to do is to be confident in how you conduct yourself, your nonverbal, your tone, and how you market your product. Now let's take a look at these two variations. Hey Darren, really excited to see you. It's my absolute pleasure meeting you today. Now, thank you for coming to our meeting today. And the purpose of this entire meeting today is going to be all about you. We're going to talk about this. What do you think? Hey Darren, how are you today? So what got you interested in our product? Like, how can I help you? Now, do you see the difference between those sales calls? Now, the first one, I was clearly confident. I have a powerful start. My nonverbal language speaks confidence. And the second variation, I was stuttering. I had bad tone. I was slouching my body, which means that I'm tired in a meeting. Now, those are not the first impression. Now, not just that. In the first call that I've done, I had a powerful start in preempting my client what's the value that they're going to get from me. And the value is going to be all about XYZ. In the second version of the call, I had zero guidance in how the conversation would be. There's zero control in how the conversation will go. And in fact, I was getting them to lead the conversation. If you're expecting a client to lead the conversation, most likely you're not going to get that sale because people are paying high ticket for you to lead the conversation. Plus, I'm not wasting my time by having small talk. I instantly position myself as the authority of the entire conversation. I'm the one selling the solution, so I have to act like it. And I'm the one that's carrying the conversation. I get to control the topics, and I don't let us dwell on a subject that's not related to the sale. And that is how you conduct yourself. Now, once you've already established yourself as a good authority figure and your prospect is happily talking about their problems, now you'll have to move on to the next step, which is where a lot of beginners in sales tend to mess up. Building a ladder. You can't just jump headfirst to a high ticket all the time and expect to make thousands overnight because nobody trusts you yet. And nobody's gonna pay you $1,000 if they wouldn't even give you $50. We have to start small. And to do that, you're gonna need a value ladder. Now picture it like this. Your ladder is built from 3 parts. At the very bottom, you have your low ticket offer. And in the middle, we'll call the mid ticket offer. And the very top are your high ticket offer. When a prospect starts to climb up the ladder, the first thing they're gonna see is your lower ticket offer. These are scalable, low-cost products. Maybe it could be ebooks, beginner courses, webinars, free workshops. They exist to introduce your audience to your brand and educate them and give them a taste of the value that you could potentially provide to them. Now, once your prospect understands what it is that you do and they want more, they can then move on to the next part, which is to make a decision if they want to engage you in your mid-ticket offer or high ticket. For mid-ticket offer, it gotta be a completely different proposition from your low ticket, which means that you probably usually offer something more in terms of your access or your time with you or the things you're going to do it for them or with them. Anything that you have already established is important for them to do to get the results that they want. And last but not least, which is the high ticket offer. These are your most premium products. Now you're going to take it to the next level and make it even more valuable in terms of access, in terms of tangible results, in terms of convenience, and maybe even just really removing the problem that you're facing missing for them. Now, one of the most important things for you to know when you're creating your value ladder is to ensure that your offers doesn't conflict with each other, and it doesn't downplay your high ticket, or it doesn't downplay your mid ticket, or it doesn't downplay your low ticket. At the highest ticket offer, we're really talking about what is the tangible big promise that you can fulfill and potentially even over deliver because of what you can do. So what I want to caution you guys, if you do not do that, then there is a high chance that your offers will start cannibalizing your sales. And when your sales cannibalize each other is because they're too similar, there's no clear proposition, and they start to overlap. You'll end up losing money because your customers are going to stick with the low ticket offer and think that your high ticket offers just aren't valuable enough because it looks quite the same. So you have to make sure that there's a natural progression to your offer. Now, each offer should push your prospect to move on to the next or down. Now, until at last you're ready to invest in your high ticket product. Develop a playbook. So let's say that you finally have your value ladder ready and you're about to start promoting your products. But in order to do that, you have to build a framework for yourself. If you just started sales without a plan and then you have nothing to use to keep track of your progress or where and when point of time that you should be ascending them to your higher ticket, and that's why I've developed a simple framework that you can follow. Now, number one is really about qualifying your prospects. Let's assume that your prospect has gone through the value ladder and now they want to buy your high ticket products and those services from you. That's why I've developed this simple framework that you can follow. Let's assume that your prospect has gone through your content, they have known you, and now they want to think about engaging your high-ticket products or services. By this point, they're probably already pretty desperate, or they're really keen for your help. They've seen what you can do and they want more of it, and they are open and willing to pay for a lot of investment for it. And these are the prospects that will buy from you, not the guys who don't reply to your messages, seems disinterested. And because of that, you should be focusing all of your time and attention on the right people who gives you the attention. And that means that during a sales call, you should be asking questions about their pain point, and in order to find out if they're a good fit for your offer. Now, I'm sure that you're wondering, so what do I say? So if you start looking for scripts to follow, I'm going to stop you right there before you fall too deep into the rabbit hole. Now let's talk about sales scripts. Sure, scripts are great if you want to learn what the key points are, what you should be covering during every call, and what the basics are, but beyond that, they're kind of useless because they're rigid. Now, relying too much on a script can actually make your conversation sound robotic, insincere, and also you freeze on the spot when you don't know what to say, because scripts are not 100% flexible enough to handle any unexpected questions or problems from your prospect. Each prospect is really unique, which that means that your pre-written stuff and your pre-judgment is not going to work in the conversation. You won't be improving or learning, you'll just be reading from a page. Instead of using scripts to get better, I suggest using one of the best practice methods that I've used, and that's what helped me and thousands of my own clients to get really good at sales really fast. And that's through role play. You'll be acting as a salesperson while someone else pretend to be your prospect. Now that sounds a little silly, but I promise that this is actually the best way to improve your sales skills. And there are a ton of rationale behind that, because you can prepare for virtually every single situation out there along the way, and your confidence gets built in the process. And as you go through each and every of these role play sessions with your partner, you'll naturally find a tone that matches you, and you'll be able to leverage that to improve your skills and your flow. And of course, role play is not going to improve anything if you don't really take it seriously. If you're laughing the whole time and then you just throw the towel in, and because if you can't get a simulated sales call to work, there's no way the real thing is gonna work out for you either. Plus, doing role play means you get ready to handle the objections that comes your way. Now, when it comes to objections, there are a few common objections you start to come across more and more as you continue to do your roleplay session. And as they come up, you're going to slowly get better at pivoting your prospect's attention rather than on the objection back to the intention and why they're here. For example, if they say, it's too expensive for us, we should be turning it around and asking them a question saying, so how can we make it worth it for you and what's the results that you really want. Now, just because a prospect says no to you doesn't really mean that they really say no yet. At least not yet, right? So don't give up and instantly throw the towel when someone says they want to think about it. Instead, just switch the conversation around and get them to focus on the right thing, which is the results that they want and the solutions that they want for the problem that they're facing, which brings us to the final and perhaps the most crucial step of the whole process, which is closing the deal. Now, when it comes to closing techniques, there's many ways for you to actually make a sale. And the most efficient and fast way is to encourage soft closing. And that happens when your client is willing to buy a product, so you're able to make the offer without being pushy or too salesy. A soft close can only happen if you fully understand your prospect's need and you're able to convince them that you are the solution to their problems. By doing that, your prospect is the one that closed the sale for you, not you. So by the end of the call, you're able to make a killer sale without really forcing anyone because they said that they want it. And now that you have a solid understanding of everything you need to take note of in sales, it's time for you to get out there and start making some sales. And that's the complete beginner's guide to dominating high-ticket sales today. Your sales strategy is an absolute key part in all of this. And in this video, I explain the best sales strategy in 2024. And that I can guarantee you will help you to close more deals. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.